Tracy McGrady say like, oh, if he was on the team, then he would have won so many titles. Bro, I've seen your knees. Trust me.
All right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope you all are having a good night so far. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. This video popped up on my feed tonight, and I wanted to check it out here. This one is from Byron Scott's Fast Break, which for those of you who don't know, that's Byron Scott's podcast. And this one is titled, Stop Comparing Yourself to Kobe. Brad Williams hilariously checks T-Mac and Paul Pierce. All right, so off the top of my head, I don't know who Brad Williams is, but I find this topic hilarious because I don't know what the hell is going on in this world, but now I guess nowadays it's cool to just like take someone who used to be your friend, and I'm talking in the perspective of Paul Pierce. So I'm sorry, T-Mac. Take a guy who used to be your friend from childhood all the way to the end, and basically wait till he passes away and then say, yeah, I could have done everything he did. Like, if I had his situation, I could have done everything he did. I don't understand this. I really don't understand it. Like, if you were going to say that kind of stuff, say it while he's alive so that you can have a conversation. You could have even made a show out of it, you know, like a podcast. Let's talk about it, you know? And then, you know, Kobe can have a rebuttal and say, oh yeah, well, if you paired me up with Yao Ming, you know, blah, 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 I would have won championships too. But at least that way Kobe can like defend himself and it can be a conversation. Instead, all I'm seeing from T-Mac is him doubling down on this, and it's weird because it's coming off as really disrespectful, and it's hard for me to imagine that's T-Mac's like intention, but that's definitely how it's coming out, is as incredibly disrespectful to Kobe Bryant. Like, leave Kobe's legacy alone. He is who he is. He did what he did. Leave it alone. You know, T-Mac and Kobe, they're not the same. You know, skill level, there was a time, a couple of years where I'd say, man, I think T-Mac might have a higher skill level than Kobe. But Kobe had the mindset and the work ethic that T-Mac never did, you know? So anyways, you guys, long rant in the intro, my bad. I know you guys don't like that, but it has to happen sometimes. Guys, I'm linking the original video down below in the description like I always do. So if you want to check out the Byron Scott podcast, it's a cool show. The link is down below. You'll also see a list of channel members. Shout out channel members. I appreciate you all. Guys, help out the channel. Like the video. Hit that hype button. All that good stuff. It helps out a lot. And thanks for being here. Let's do this.
So, Brad, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
We've been hearing a whole lot of Kobe slander over the past few months, right?
All right.
People saying, if I would have played with the Lakers, you know, we'd have won championships, blah, blah, blah. What do you think about all the slander that's going on?
Bro, okay. I heard Tracy McGrady say like, oh, if he was on the team, then he would have won so many titles. Bro, I've seen your knees. Trust me. I'm at your level to see your knees. I'm literally eye contact with your knees. Like, if you stay healthy, but also like you weren't hitting free throws with a torn ACL. T-Mac didn't have the killer instinct. You got that killer instinct of not allowing yourself to lose, not lifting up your teammates whether they want it or not. That's what these other players did not have. You did not have that. You didn't have the guy that during the Olympics. He's playing against Kobe's playing against his best friend Pau Gasol. He first play against Spain. He's like, I'm gonna run fucking through Pau and knock him over to let them know we're not friends right now. That's the kind of attitude he had. That's
true. And you know what? Like, as much as I always praise T-Mac as one of my favorite players, you know, while he was healthy, I gotta be fair. You can't have You can't not get out of the first round of the playoffs while you're the leader of a team all those years and claim to have Kobe's mindset. It doesn't work that way. It's not fair. And Kobe was doing better in 2005, you know, when he was all alone on the Lakers with no help, really. And he was still doing better for his team than T-Mac did when he had Yao Ming, you know? So think about that for a second. It's not the same thing. T-Mac, I'm sorry. I liked T-Mac more than Kobe back then, big time. But the end result is the end result.
Him over to let them know we're not friends right now. That's the kind of attitude he had. That's why I mean, obviously having Shaq on the team doesn't hoit. But I mean, you know, Shaq got to the finals before without Kobe, but he didn't win the championships until you get that combination.
Yeah, like, and in LA he was getting swept out of the playoffs often. Not first round or anything, but he was getting swept out of the playoffs without Kobe.
So I don't like that revisionist, that fucking Paul Pierce saying he's a better pure scorer than Michael Jordan. Shut the fuck up.
No way. Did Paul Pierce actually say that nonsense? Like, get out of here, man. Stop it. Talk this trash when you were both playing. You know, like he had his opportunity for a couple of years. Talk trash to MJ then. Watch the 40-year-old bust your ass. Oh, wait, we did get to watch that. It happened in real life.
Paul Pierce, if you see me on the street, try and punt me. Okay, I don't care. If you think you can punt me, Paul. Like,
Better watch out for his wife, though.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Yeah, exactly.
She gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, you're gonna deal with her, Paul. But yeah, like there's all this kind of revisionist, like, oh well, if I had done this, hey, we saw what we saw. You go back, watch the tape. You saw the greatness, and I know you're like, Brad, what do you know about basketball? Not much. I'm a 4'4" white guy from Orange County. I don't know a ton about basketball. I'm certainly not going to educate you guys on anything, but I know what I saw during that time, and I know what happened, and I know that it's not just plug and play, because we've had super teams. You've had these teams come along that didn't win.
Absolutely.
Where arguably they had the best talent. There has to be... You needed everything. You needed Kobe. You needed Shaq. You needed Phil. We found out you needed Phil.
100%.
You know, and it's the same thing with those Bulls teams where they're like, oh, well, Michael could have done it. No, Michael needed Scotty. Scotty needed Michael, and they both needed Phil. And then they needed, every now and then, you need a Rodman. You need a John Paxson. Like, you need someone to step up. Like, these things where you're just like, nah, just plug and play and it still works. No, I don't go for that.
Yeah, that old saying, if it was a fifth, we all be drunk. You know, because that's what everybody's doing. Well, if I was there, if I was here,
dude, I've had comics come to me and be like, well, if I was a dwarf, I'd have your career. I'm like, well, here's a chainsaw, motherfucker. Chop off a couple of legs. Go for it. All right, enjoy that. If no, we saw what we saw. And to me, that takes away Kobe's greatness. And that seems like a foolish argument to me.
It is.
Thank you for watching Byron Scott's Fast Break.
It is. Sorry, it's such a short one, guys. I didn't realize when I clicked on it that it was 4 minutes. But no, like, you know what? It reminds me of something that most of us actually find really entertaining, but we know, like, this is not real life. 2K simulations. That's what this whole culture is reminding me of. Well, if you just plug me into this situation, watch how many championships I get. Dude, life is like, that's for fun. That's like escapism fun. Like, reality is reality. You both had full careers. Kobe did what he did. T-Mac, you did what you did. And the thing is I have never, like, criticized you as a basketball player, but I'm starting to wonder if I should, because this is getting just absolutely nonsensical. Listen, you're still incredibly respected as a basketball player. We remember how great you were, but you didn't win. Okay, so most people get completely forgotten if they were a good player and they didn't win a championship. They basically never get talked about again after a couple of years after their retirement. You're fortunate enough where people still respect you because we saw how good you were, you know, like Grant Hill was as well. You know, we saw how great you guys were, so no one is really talking trash about you and being disrespectful. But when that's not enough for you and you're trying to pull down something that you didn't do, you know, Like, what? So in your head, you're a 5-time champion as well? You know, like, it just doesn't work that way. Like, life, unfortunately, can't work that way. Or else we'd all be filthy rich. You know, we'd all have like the best spouse ever, and you know, we'd have the best job, or we're always the best in it. Like, life doesn't work that way, man. You got winners, you got losers, you got in between, and you just, you know, you got to give it your best while you're out there, because when it's done, it's done. There's nothing left to do but talk. But to talk this kind of nonsense is just, I find it really disrespectful. Especially because it's hypothetical, but you're taking it as though like it's a fact. Like, of course I would win with Shaq. Blah blah blah. You know, I don't know. I didn't see LeBron win with Shaq. Not everybody can win with Shaq. I didn't see Penny win with Shaq. You know, like, it doesn't always work out that way. D Wade, he only won one with Shaq. So, like, what are we really talking about here? I like what Brad Williams was saying here, because it's not just plug and play. This ain't a video game. You know, you got to worry about chemistry, work ethic. Do you respect each other? Are there injuries, T-Mac? Because you were very injury prone. So how would that affect, you know, the runs with the Lakers if you were injured all the time? I'm sorry, but these are all the facts that I have to bring up when you're saying stuff like this, because it's just incredibly disrespectful, man. We saw your career. We saw Kobe's career. They weren't the same. Your offensive skill level at your peak, T-Mac, was, in my opinion, at its peak during those years, about 2 to 3 years, you were better offensively than Kobe was, okay? But you didn't continue to elevate. Kobe was already better at defense than you were at this point, but you had the offensive edge. Then Kobe increased his defensive capabilities and then stormed past you offensively. You know, but you came in just raw talent, one of the best players I've ever seen on the offensive end, but it just didn't keep growing. Anyways, you guys, I'm out of here. I wish T-Mac would stop saying stuff like this, because I don't like having to call T-Mac out, but it is what it is. And Paul Pierce, shut up, man. Just stop. You're not a better pure shooter than Jordan. You didn't have a better career than Wade. Just stop with the nonsense, okay? Like, we saw your career too. It was a good career. You're a champion. You're a legend. Be happy with it, dude. Like, nothing but respect for you. All right, I'm out of here, everyone. Leave your opinions down below. I got to look up Brad Williams, dude. I recognize him, but I didn't realize how funny this guy is. Anyways, excuse me. I'm going to head out, everyone. If you'd like to help push this video and help the channel out, please hit that like button, hit that hype button, and hit that subscribe plus button if you want to become a member. And that's about it, you guys. I really appreciate you watching. I will see you all in the comments, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night, okay? Stay safe, have a little fun, be at peace, and tell your loved ones you love them, all right? Everyone, be water, my friends.